it was like he never left, right, Mark? You knew Joe when he was in high school. And,
I did.
And I'm sure you had a peace pipe with him back in the day. And but anyway, he made it back to Montana, so I want to thank everybody out there for praying for my brother Joe. Before I go any further, I want to say good morning to Teresa Fry. She's quite the historian out from Grant Center area, but she knows a lot about Big Rapids. And one of these days before her and I go to the Blue Sky, I'm going to get her on here, and we're going to talk about her life's journey, because she's getting up there. She just got done square dancing last Saturday night. I missed it because I had another commitment, but out at Grant Center, once a year, I think they do it. They have a square dancing out there, and they really...
I heard about that.
Yeah, you know,
Good time.
That Grant Center bunch, I just want to say we really appreciate you out there. You're a big part of Mecosta County. I want to say Dave Hamlin, I was talking to him yesterday about Giving Day. That's coming up. I don't know what day for sure. Bob, do you know what day Giving Day is?
No, I don't.
It's out the Eagles, I know. So just keep your eyes on Facebook, and I'm sure Bob will announce it. Maybe I will next week. Do you know when it is, Brad?
I do not, to be honest.
Okay. Anybody know when Giving Day is? I bet Jen will figure it out. Last night I went to St. Mary's, just to update you on sports. My little grandson Jack, it was kind of cute. I announced the game for him last night. They played Renaissance of Mount Pleasant, much bigger in numbers too team. Jack comes over to the bench and he sits next to me. I said, "Well, you having fun?" He goes, "Yeah." And he looks at me. He goes, "I think we can beat this team." They got beat last night 45-20, so he's not a prophet. Elaine at Fashion Nails, I want to reach out to her. She can't understand English very well, but she does feet very well. Have you guys ever had a pedicure? Have you, Mark?
No, I haven't.
Have you, Bob?
No.
You know what pedicure is, not your nails, but your toenails. Have you, Brad?
Twice. I consider myself a very masculine person, outdoors guy, but I've had it done twice, and I love it. And I would do it at least once a year.
I tell you, you go down to Fashion Nails south of town. They're Vietnamese, and they're just wonderful, wonderful people. And we'll talk about the culture of different cultures, Mark, when we get into this, because I know you know a lot of them, foreigners, immigrants, whatever. But they're the most docile, I think, wonderful people. They're just so nice. I mean, and I just love it. They'll go from the knees on down, and I tell you, my feet are just so clean this morning. I put my socks on without snagging a sock going up. It's a bitch putting socks on.
Oh, it is.
It is. I mean, if your toenails get too long, boom, that's enough said. But anyway, thank you, Elaine. I know you're not listening, and maybe she is. She says they do, but I don't know. Maybe they have an interpreter. I want to go to a little more sensitive subject. Olivia Fountain, she was accidentally shot over in Barrington. I don't know if they're loading guns or whatever, but she's in the hospital. She's a wonderful little girl, loved by her family, loved by her community. She's going to make it, but it was an accident, and accidents do happen. We just keep her in your prayers and thoughts. She's on the sign at Curries, so if you're wondering what happened, that's what happened. One more thing, I want to thank Lisa and Abby and Ivan at the gas station. You know, I don't thank my help enough, and Lisa, she's just a wonderful, wonderful girl. She's been there for, I think, almost 5 or 10 years. But if it wasn't for her, my boys would be in trouble. She's there every morning at 5 o'clock till 1 in the afternoon. Does a wonderful job. My daughter Abby's stepping up too. It's nice to have family in there, because I'm not there as much as I used to be. It's kind of fun not being there, but then again, I do miss it. You know, it's tough. It's tough to change your lifestyle once you do something all the time. But that's it for me and my memories. And normally I don't write it down, and then after the show I say, "Gosh darn it, Bob, I forgot," don't I, Bob?
Hey,
Get
Pat.
on the mic a little bit, Bob. You got to have it up to your mouth. What did I forget to say last week? And darn it, I forgot to say it. What was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
All right, so I don't feel bad then. I'm not getting dementia. Good.
How about that win Friday night over there in Ludington? We loaded up Coach Kurt's bus, motorhome, went over there with a group of people. It was a hell of a game, very tight. Looked like Big Rapids had a chance of losing there for a little while. Then all of a sudden, came back, 3 seconds left. Trent Massel catches that ball in the end zone. And those Orioles, they went home quiet, shuffling their feet on the sidewalk. Didn't have a word to say, but they were very harsh on us and hard. Yeah, they weren't expecting Big Rapids to pull that off. And Trent, he deserved that last touchdown in that game. He's given it all for the last few years. He's had some physical issues, and man, the way he caught that, just like that, Trent was the man. Heist threw it to him. Perfect, yeah.
Well,
and so many other good players that night too as well.
That was Dan Langell, my hero. Dan Langell. He threw it to him.
Yeah.
Cole Heist's a very good quarterback this year. He's led them to actually all the victories they've had, but Cole didn't throw that one.
Oh,
Dan
Cole
did.
didn't. Okay, okay.
That was option there, and Dan grabbed it. And I think actually the defense was looking for Dan to run it to the right side. And I asked him about it because he comes in every morning before he goes to the career center, and he goes, "Yeah, they were expecting me to run the right side because I'm tailback or whatever they need." He's a pretty versatile.
Oh, yes.
But instead, Mark, Trent went to the left, wide open. Dan throws it to him. They win 32-31. So my hat's off. We're going to talk to Mike Seltzer tomorrow morning on our sports show. So he'll be happy as heck to be talking about that. And I asked Dan who called that play, and he goes, Mike did. So we'll have to give Mike Seltzer some credit tomorrow. That's pretty cool. Mark, you played football for Big Rapids.
I did.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
And I see Bill Toombs put on Facebook, you played the same position he and Jack Adrance Jr. played. So 69, 70, 71. Mm-hmm. All right, my trivia question to you is, who played it in 72?
John Mishler.
Oh, you remember that? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because he'd been your backup your senior year, huh?
Right. And Mike Burkham also played. We had a different program back then, front side and back side, so we wasn't right guard or left guard. We shifted sides.
Donnie O'Neill was your quarterback?
No, Jim Wink was our quarterback.
Oh, what did Donnie do?
Donnie was the quarterback when he was a sophomore and played varsity. But,
Okay.
Jim.
That's right.
Really, really good quarterback.
What was your record in 71? Do you remember?
7-2.
So did you get to go playoffs back then?
They didn't have playoffs.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
I don't think they started playoffs until maybe 10 years after that.
Really? I didn't know that.
I
was a cheerleader back in the day. I loved being underneath those bleachers. We had the most wonderful bleachers there at Mitchell Creek Stadium. That was a great stadium, wasn't it,
It was
Mark?
a great place to play.
Yeah, it was. We had a lot of pride in Cardinals back in the day. Well, there still is, obviously, to this day. But back then, Brad, you didn't know this, but we didn't have a lot of influx from outsiders, did we, Mark, back then? Everybody kind of grew up from birth to high school, and we just all grew up together, didn't we? We had a tight-knit community back then, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And you grew up in the second ward.
Correct.
Yeah, and I was in the third ward, and we had that creek between us. And everybody kind of stayed in their own ward, didn't they, Mark?
At that time, yeah.
And then, who was your childhood friends back in the day?
John Horrigan was my first buddy, and that was probably when I was about 3 years old.
Really?
And Ed Hansen,
Bob
Whalen.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Hendrickson.
Yeah. Well, hell, everybody lived over in the class of 71, didn't they? Except for Ann Curry.
Right. And we found a way to get over to the bloody third ward every once in a while.
Yeah. But you guys had the majority of 71 over there. I remember that. You all went to Brookside, didn't you?
I did.
Any favorite teachers in Brookside back in the day you remember that had an influence on you?
Mrs. Donath. She was my favorite teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that, Mark? Why do you think that was?
We had 22 girls and 9 boys in my Brookside class.
Wow. How big was your class 71? Do you remember?
We had 235 to start, and I think we ended up with a little over 200.
See, Brad, the reason I asked him those questions, if he would have asked me how many is in the class 72, I'd have to call Mary Jo Dennison maybe, or Cindy Haldeman, or Joe Walker, or one of the girls, but I would think we had 180. You guys had a bigger class than the norm, didn't you?
It was one of the bigger classes at that time.
Yeah, because I remember Baudry was in my class, and we had a real close class too.
I think the class of 73 was close to 300.
Really?
That was the peak of the baby boom.
You have a great memory. So back in high school days, what some of your greatest memories, and would you say there would be, you only played football, didn't you? You didn't play basketball.
I did early on, but ran track also.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Rex Schuberg was a track star. Remember him? He was a few years younger than you.
He was
freshman when you were a
right.
senior.
He was a freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah, see, my memory's not bad. The reason I'm doing this because I'm trying to make my brain think a little harder. You know, these games and stuff you play, right, Brad?
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
But anyway, my hat's off to you so far. Everything you're saying is so true. You got a great memory.
Well, I used to have. It's not getting any better, I'll tell you.
Well, for you folks out there right now, we're all going to heaven eventually someday. But Mark's been battling cancer, and we all been praying for him. Even though sometimes I wonder if he wants me to, because I'm just a good old Catholic boy, and he come from the other side of the creek. But you're doing a great job. You look good this morning. How's it going with that?
Things are going fine.
Yeah, good. You're optimistic, aren't you? Every day you live.
I roll with the punches.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You had a great mother and dad. Let's talk about them a little bit. Your mother's maiden name was?
Muter, M-U-T-E-R.
Oh, yes, of course. Woodward Avenue. She lived up on the hill.
Well, she grew up on Sanborn, right around the corner from where I live now, and I lived across from Brookside on Sanborn, so.
Okay. Her dad was Lindsay? Mm-hmm. But she never lived up on that farm then, eh?
No, they moved the house to its current location and did a remodel, and that was in 1954.
So, oh, wow. Now, your mother's still with us.
She is. She's 90, will be 96 in a couple of weeks.
My God, I remember her and Mrs. Nicholas walking every day, didn't they?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Now, where does your mother live now then? In the home? Or?
She's in the Brook.
Okay, and she likes that, huh?
She does. She's with 3 of her classmates from high school that are there.
Now, historians, and Teresa, I hope you're listening and correct us. Call us in, folks, if you want to. Bob, what's the number here again? If you got any questions for Mark, because he's quite a historian.
231-592-1039.
592-1039. All right, if you have any questions. So, Bloxham Roofing, that was Western Michigan's called for roofing company at one time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
still is in Traverse City. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they had Big Rapids, Cadillac, and Traverse City, right?
Well, Big Rapids and Traverse City.
Oh, okay, but they did Cadillac roofing between the two of them.
All over the state.
Yeah. So how did that start? Who started that?
My grandfather, Bloxham, started it 100 years ago, and the year that my dad was born.
Wow.
So my dad would be 100 were he alive, and my grandfather started it then. He had started roofing for Willis Judson, and eventually he spun off and started his own thing.
So your grandpa was born in Big Rapids then?
Paris.
But they were from Big Rapids.
Right.
So who spun off then? Your grandpa started his roofing in Big Rapids. Then
he, in 25 is when he started Bloxham Roofing.
1925.
Before that, he had worked for Willis Judson, Judson's Hardware.
Wow.
And
didn't know that.
Yeah.
People that don't know, Judson's Hardware is a staple hardware downtown Big Rapids for many, many years. Chuck and Tom Judson took it over from his dad. Don Lane was a big guy there at that time. Cooey Longcore. A lot of good names in Big Rapids worked Judson's Hardware right downtown. So your dad got into it right when he was a boy then?
After he got back from World War II, he and his brothers.
How many brothers?
3 brothers.
4 boys. Mm-hmm. So is that why they went to Traverse City? They had kind of spread the business out? Or?
Well, Traverse City was a growing place back in the early 50s, and they saw an opportunity, and so 2 of my uncles moved to Traverse City.
And then the other one stayed here with your dad then?
My Uncle Tom and my dad were in Big Rapids.
I remember Tom. What happened to him then?
Tom is 99 years old and living in Williamsburg near Traverse City.
Okay, so he went up to Traverse City too with the company then?
Eventually, yes.
Oh, I see. All 3 of them were up there then?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. And then your dad was the only one who stayed here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did he start on 2nd Avenue where you guys have the storage units there?
No. That was the Niemer lumber building at that time, before my dad bought that from Harry Rogers.
Oh, okay. So then, where did he start? Where was Bloxham Roofing at, the initial
816 Maple.
Oh, same place that building is at today? Oh, then they tore it down, built a new one there then? At one time, or is that the original building?
That's the original building. There was a lot there. And next door, part of the parking lot, was the original Big Rapids site. Leonard, the Leonard Hotel.
It was where?
Was right in the parking lot next to 816 Maple.
You got any pictures of that?
I don't know.
That's interesting because, folks, for you guys didn't know, Brad, did you know Big Rapids was called Leonard before Big Rapids?
No, not at all.
Yep. See, we're learning
Interesting.
history. That's why I brought you in here, Mark. Wasn't it? It was called Leonard.
Leonard.
I don't know what year Big Rapids changed from Leonard and why.
1855.
Wonder why. I know we got Big Rapids, but on the
Big
river.
Rapids was actually on the west side of the river, and Leonard was on the east side.
Oh,
And
I
eventually
did.
it all became Big Rapids.
I
when-
did
when
not know that.
When they incorporated in 1855.
Well, see, Bob, I learned something there. I always was in the making that Leonard was the whole community, but it never really was.
It wasn't. It was,
I wonder why-
East of the Muskegon, and they referred to Big Rapids because of the rapids.
Yeah.
There. And
Yeah.
when they incorporated, it was Big Rapids, not Leonard.
Wow, we got a pretty good historian here. You know, it's funny, Mark, because as we grew up, it used to, there was always fighting, wasn't there? I mean,
There were some skirmishes, no question.
yeah, there's no knives, though, and no guns. It was just
No knives or guns.
run. If you feel like you're getting your ace kicked, you ran.
There were
And
some
if you-
tire irons, though.
Yeah, there was. Remember behind the Clark station that night, behind Chuck, Faust got knocked over by the 350 block engine from, the Eberhart boys were in town. Oh my God, they were tough. Remember
Yeah.
them fights? We used to have fights behind the Clark station, which is Paris Auto, which is one of our sponsors. Thank you out to Paris Auto for buying that building. They're doing a great job downtown Big Rapids. Without you, it'd be vacant. But there used to be some squabbles, and that was your ward. You guys couldn't control it. I used to work for my dad at the gas station. All of a sudden, you'd see all these cars pull in. Well, get over there. Oh, we're getting off track here. But getting back to Big Rapids, 1855, that's interesting that they incorporated that. But you notice over the years it's helped a little bit, but it took forever to get investments over there, didn't it?
Well, the east side was kind of the poor side of town for
Yeah.
quite some time, but
I wonder why, Mark. Wonder why that was, because we had the river just like the west side. And when I say we, my place is on the east side. I've invested heavily over there. But wonder why that was.
Well, I speculate that I wasn't around in 1855, but it was the older part of town. It's where Big Rapids originally grew, and so the houses were older, and it only made sense that the newer area would be probably the more affluent.
Well, it's funny because like the Comstock House, Taggart House, and the Savage House, all those loggers, all built on the west side of the river, but they originated from the east side.
Right.
But you're right. The prestigious people went over there and built their nice little homes. And, of course, the Comstock House is still up. Looks nice over there. The brick there, that's the one on the corner of Ive Street.
I lived there for 2 years.
Oh, you
when
did?
I was a student at Ferris.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, it's a beautiful house. Took a lot of maintenance, a lot of work. I mean, obviously, we had it as a fraternity house at the time.
Oh, that's right.
God.
You ruined that. You're probably one of the ones that ruined it. Remember that, Mark? When
It needed some updates for sure.
I spent some time in the Delt Segs, right?
Yes, yeah.
they got
I
kicked
was a
out of there,
pipe.
didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got kicked out. Just for the record, Bob, because this is all
A
going
little too
down
much
the system.
partying.
A little bit too. You guys are wild. But so as you grew up, Mark, did you ever think about moving away?
Well, I did move. I was in Lansing for a while, Grand Rapids for a while, but I always came back.
And then, were you in the bookstore business back then too, or
That was after I graduated from Ferris.
that you went down there?
No, I started the bookstore, which
Okay.
originally was off-campus book and supply.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that was in 1977, right after I graduated from Ferris.
Yeah, you did well with that, didn't you? You guys sold a lot of rented or whatever you called it back then.
Well, we sold textbooks.
Yeah.
We as
But who
students
else?
would always be lined up, dozens and dozens of students prior to a couple days before class, and then returning books because you'd have to run it. But you had a hell of a business back then.
Yeah, well,
substantial.
It was cyclical. You had to. You had 3 sales periods at that time.
Oh yeah, right.
And so we got into office supplies as well. Mm-hmm. It was a natural offshoot from school supplies.
Did you build that building? Did your company build that building? Because that's where you were first started, right there, right?
Well, I first started in the White House that's next to Little Caesars. That's
Oh, yeah, that's
now
right.
a marijuana business.
Right, yeah.
And then the shopping center that I was involved in
Okay.
also is a marijuana business now.
Who built that building there then?
Well, part of the time
Right.
I was involved with the ownership. Dr. Jensen is the original.
Oh, okay.
Started that development.
Yeah. Where do you remember where the first marijuana house was in Big Rapids?
Well, there are plenty of marijuana houses in Big Rapids.
No, I mean now, but back in the 70s, where was the go-to place back in the 70s? I mean, we can talk about it now. It's
Well, it just passed the statute of limitations.
right, yeah, so we can talk about it.
There were plenty of places one could buy marijuana back then.
Yeah. Of course, that was the Vietnam days. Those boys were coming in. I bet you a third of the fair students were Vietnam boys, don't you think?
Oh, I'd say probably at least. The Vets Club was a major organization on campus.
Yeah.
And, you know, a third of everybody my age was getting drafted.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I was in the last draft.
Right, so was I.
And
Didn't get it.
let's see, I think we had a party when they drew the draft numbers, and half the people there were under the number 20.
Wow, yeah.
And
I was down there. But I didn't get drafted because Nixon came out and said, you don't have to go anymore. So we said, yippee. We were losing people, Mark, left and right back in the day, and nobody consulted us, did they? They
Well,
just part of life.
during that time period is when Ferris suggested that I take some time off and reevaluate my educational pursuits. And that's when I moved to Grand Rapids for a year and a half and changed truck tires
Oh, is they?
at Goodyear. And
Really?
it was the best education I could possibly have because it
Yeah.
was a kick in the butt that I should get back to school and get some
Yeah.
decent grades.
Well, you worked for Chuck Stewart, didn't you?
I did.
Talk about Chuck a little bit. A lot of people don't know Chuck. Chuck, I wouldn't say he was a handicap, but he had some kind of stroke, or was he born with that?
No. He
What?
had got machine gunned in World War II in Italy.
That's right. Yeah,
And
thank you.
he had the same injury that Bob Dole had.
Yeah.
He was machine gunned as well. And Chuck made everything work regardless.
No, it was in his hand, wasn't it?
And it was his whole arm.
Yeah, gosh, yeah. Boy, he had a heck of a business, folks. Down there where Van Drees Furniture is, right on the corner of, what is that? Not Hemlock Street. What is that? Hemlock right there at that corner by?
I think it is.
Yeah. And it had Osceola. Andrew started the Osceola oil gas station there, and then Chuck came in there, and Jim Romine worked for him back in the day. And I tell you, he sold Goodyear tires, Brad. And I tell you what, he sold thousands a year, didn't he, Mark? And
He did.
He could do truck tires.
That's where I learned the truck tire trade.
Oh, okay. And then you went to Grand Rapids and worked down there. You didn't work for your dad in high school at all?
Yeah, I loaded trucks.
Okay. Did you ever get on the roofs and work for your dad on them?
Rarely, but
You knew you didn't want to do that, eh?
well, he had advised me never get in the roofing business.
Really?
So,
Yeah. He had some real characters work for him. Hard workers, didn't he?
oh yeah,
Didn't he have Newberry started with him, didn't he, Blaine?
Blaine started with him. All the Burns brothers,
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yep. Denny and, yeah.
Denny, Jim,
Yeah.
they all, Eddie, they all worked for him
Yeah,
at one
they
point or
did.
another.
How many people did he must have employed a lot because the Vaughns worked for him too, I think.
Yeah, at any given time, he probably had, between 15 and 20 workers.
Your dad passed away at what age?
Same age as I am now, 72.
Really? My dad passed at 74 or 5, yeah. So John and I look at each other and say, well, we better enjoy every moon we have, because you never know, Bob. You're looking over there like, this is, where's this going here this morning? Well, it's going a little history of our families. Right, Mark?
Nobody gets out alive.
No, they don't. Well, then you went to Ferris, you got out and you went to work. And then did you ever run for a city commissioner? Or were you on the city commission? But you've
I've
always
never run
been
for public office.
You never have.
No,
But you've been politically involved.
I have.
So let me ask Mark Bloxham this. Why and who had influence on you to make you who you are? Did you have a mentor back in college that you followed and and the thought process of the views that you have today?
Well, one of the advisors to my fraternity was definitely an influence, and he's the one who directed me toward starting the bookstore. At the time, Ferris had their bookstore, which was not much larger than this studio, and people lined up for blocks to get in at the beginning of school. So it was natural that we would start a store that would compete.
Was Lumberg the head of that then?
He was, Jim Lumberg.
He's the one that started the bookstore? Probably.
I believe he was
Yeah.
for Ferris, and that
Yeah.
would have been in the late 50s.
They must not have thought that was. We'll just real quickly go through this, but they must have. Well, you obviously saw the call for it, so they must not have took care of their students at that time and getting books to them quicker.
Well, they didn't have enough room to fit all the people.
Well, yeah, you'd think
So it
Ferris
was-
would have made room, though.
Well, they did eventually,
Yeah.
and that was right at the time they expanded the store that the flood of '86 hit, and they hadn't finished it yet. And if they had been in that, they would have been under 2.5 feet of water.
Wow. So was that the demise of you? Competition with them? They grew then and said, "Hey, we're going to do more of this." Or
No, I got out of the business at that time, 10 years in, because of the flood of '86.
Okay,
Cost me like $300,000 at that time.
right.
It hit on the first day of classes, the largest rainfall in the history of the state of Michigan.
Washed right into that building, eh?
It wasn't damaged. You couldn't,
Oh.
There was 3.5 feet of water in the main entrance of Ferris. People couldn't get across the street. You couldn't see cars that
Oh.
were parked right out in front of them. store.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the year the dairy freeze went down. That was Bloxham's owned, wasn't it?
Correct.
For you folks don't realize a little more history here, right next to the, not AMVETS, but the foreign,
Disabled American veterans.
Thank you, Mark. That's right across from Roller Rink, right to the north of that before the creek, or crick. How do we supposed to say that, crick or creek?
If you're from Big Rapids, you say Crick.
That's what I thought. Thank you, Mark. So anyway, there was a nice dairy freeze there. Of course, it was convenient for us high schoolers to go there, and your uncle owned it, right?
We blocked some roofing on it.
Oh, your brother or your dad and everybody put yeah, that's all right. Yeah. And that thing was thriving business too, wasn't it?
It was.
It was going good, and then the flood came in and took that bridge out, took that right with it. And holy Lord, you talk about it, 'cause woo, the old Mitchell Creek flooded, wasn't it, Mark, all the way through the Dairy Queen up there and right up to the Dairy
On the
Queen.
first day of classes, Big Rapids received 13.05 inches of rain
Yeah, see, that's
in one 24-hour period. And it rained for 40 straight days after that, so it was biblical.
I was building my pole barn back then, and my father-in-law, Jerry Mayo, worked for Reith and Riley and asked Larry Brown if he could use his grader for the weekend to build me a track out there on West Avenue. And I'm telling you, it was the most beautiful track in Michigan. Jerry knew his dirt work and banked it and everything. And he said, no, and he did it on a weekend, 12, 14 hours a day. Got all done with it, and he said, now, Pat, go out there and pack it down with your roller. And I said, all right. He goes, and all you'll need now is a little rain, and it's supposed to start raining Tuesday, so we'll get enough rain to pack it down. You have a beautiful track. Hell, it started raining on Tuesday. It never quit till Friday. And the boards I had from my pole barn at that time were laying on the ground. Found them down all the way from Rich Jensen's house all the way down to State Street. Picked them all up 2 days later, and my track was gone. It washed the track right on. I don't know where the hell that dirt is. I was going to put a lawsuit into the county to get my dirt back, but I never pursued it. But anyway,
WBZX Big Rapids.
yeah, I think top of the hour already. See, it's going fast, Mark. 9 o'clock already. I want to take this moment and reflect on our sponsors. And I was telling Mark and Brad before we say the sponsors, when we first started this show, Jen asked me to come on for 15 minutes, not realizing I'd take that much time in the bathroom. But anyway, we had no sponsors, and Bob Horn came up and said, you know what, Jenny said, I'd like to sponsor Pat's program. So that was at the time when he had Bab Ford, and old Pete Kent got on here, you know, Bab Ford, and Bab Ford did it. And now how many sponsors do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But anyway, all the way down Big Rapids, Pennzoil, Wenger Insurance, DW2 Drywall, Gilbert's Carpet Plus. They sponsor a lot. Firearms from Barrington, Casey and Cal. Paris Auto, great group of guys. If you're looking for a car, I tell you, those guys are honest. They back up the sale. I was talking to a lady that bought a car from them just recently, and she said, you know, Pat, she goes, this is what kind of guy that Boyd is. And I said, I know what he is like. She had some car problems with it, and the warranty was off it. He still took care of it.
He's a good man for sure.
That says a lot
honest.
about character. Janowitz, Monk and Janowitz, been around for a long time. Great people, great people. Michigan ADAS, same thing as JR Collision up there north of town. Jason, the company, does a great job. And then you got Hooked to Curries, which, they have the best sandwich this morning anyway. That Ivan does a great job for me, doesn't he, Brad?
Oh, yes.
Yep. And Big Rapids really was Sue Bean. She's a great person, yeah. So there you go. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes crossing paths with a flying stone is inevitable. But whether you have a small chip that needs quick attention or a windshield that's beyond saving, Michigan ADAS Calibration and Glass is there to help. If your vehicle has been in an accident and you're working with insurance, they'll handle the entire process from start to finish. From windshields to back glass and even power windows, they'll see you through it. Pun intended. Save time and skip the dealership with Michigan ADAS Calibration and Glass. Same location as JR Customs and Collision, just north of 19 Mile in Big Rapids.
Where do you go for Michigan's #1 concealed pistol license course? The same place thousands of Michigan residents have over the past 15 years, the Barrington Firearms Training Center. The BFTC conducts state-certified CPL courses right here locally inside the Barrington Conservation Club at 3444 18 Mile Road in Barrington. For just $99, all you need to bring us is your Michigan ID to these all-inclusive one-day CPL courses, which include the use of firearms, ammo, eye and ear protection, coffee and donuts in the morning, and lunch at noon. That's right, just $99 gets you everything needed to take the police department instructed course that includes the training necessary to safely load, unload, handle, and store your firearm. Students will also be trained on when it is legal to defend themselves with a firearm under Michigan's Stand Your Ground law and Castle Doctrine. Call 231-250-7257 or go online at michigancpltraining.com to register for one of their upcoming $99 all-inclusive CPL courses. Get armed, get trained at the Barrington Firearms Training Center.
Hi, this is Pat Curry. When I think of drywall, there's only one guy in town that I think of, and that's Dale at 231-679-0475. If you want a great job done in your house, whatever you need, drywalling, call Dale. Dale and Frank will do a great job for you. Great pair of Americans. DW2 Drywall. Give them a call at 231-679-0475. Remember, DW2 Drywall.
After decades of satisfied customers, Paris Auto Sales is still your trusted used car center of Big Rapids. So if you've been driving the same vehicle for what seems like decades, come on down to Paris Auto Sales and get yourself a new ride today. Now with 2 locations to better serve you. Trucks, cars, SUVs, big or small, and everything in between. That's Paris Auto Sales. Their team has the experience to get you financed and get you into the vehicle you've been waiting for.
When the time comes to say goodbye, you need a funeral home that understands your family's needs. The Monk Janowitz Funeral Home in Big Rapids and the Janowitz Family Funeral Home in Remus have been a trusted part of this community for generations. They do take care of every family like their own, and they hear it time and time again.
My name is Christina Beers. I would say there's lots of funeral homes in the area, but there's only a small few that can do it with class and with quality and with that personal touch and care. And I would put Janowitz Family Funeral Home at the very top of that list.
Let them help guide you through a challenging time with care, respect, and compassion. The Monk Janowitz Funeral Home in Big Rapids and the Janowitz Family Funeral Home in Remus. Local, professional, and here for you when it matters most.
I'm Seth Wenger from Wenger Insurance. For more than 100 years, we've been providing professional service and competitive insurance to West Michigan. Come visit us on Perry Street in Big Rapids or give us a call at 796-0778. We're here for you now, and we'll be here when you need us most. 796-0778.
Pennzoil in Big Rapids is your quick-stop shop for oil changes and so much more. With certified techs and 35 years experience, they'll have you in and out in a flash. And a free car wash with every service. And don't forget about tires. As quickly as the seasons change in Michigan, it's easy to lose your grip. Luckily, Pennzoil in Big Rapids has the tires you need to dominate all seasons in Michigan. Big tires, fast tires, grippy tires, sleek tires. Go see Zach Wells at Big Rapids Pennzoil today. He'll get you back on the road and ready to roll. That's Big Rapids Pennzoil, located at 710 North State Street, or give them a call at 231-796-4730.
Looked at Curries.
Pete, why do you come to Curries?
I go in there for breakfast every single morning, Pack, except the week. Well, on Sunday. I usually go to church. But I love the scrambled eggs and bacon and toast. Homemade.
I'm Haley. My husband and I bought our home pretty much about 2 years ago. We are actually looking to downsize now. We use Sue Bean. She has become a friend of mine over these last few years. I've got to work with her, and she's just one of the sweetest souls. She really knows a lot about the field, and I felt like she was our best choice. Sue Bean makes it personalized because she figures out exactly what you're wanting as a buyer, and she figures out exactly what you need as a seller. So she combines both of those things and successfully helps you get exactly what you need out of any scenario. I'm grateful for Sue's persistence, her honest feedback, most importantly, her caring concern to us as the seller, and then also additionally with this piece of property that we purchased as the buyer. She's there to protect you as both. That was really important to me. You can get a hold of Susan Bean at Big Rapids Realty by calling 231-580-9546 or online at bigrapidsrealty.com. Email her at sbean, S-B-E-A-N, at bigrapidsrealty.com.
Welcome back, America. Here we got a great show going on here. I'm going to be an auctioneer for a minute. Brad Liban, right? Liban.
Yes, sir.
And Mark Bloxham, two of my favorites here in Big Rapids. I have a lot of favorites. Bob Aldrich is one of them, too. Dom Theodore is another one. So you guys are all in the same category. You're my friends. But anyway, we have a great show going on here this morning. I talked a little bit earlier off the record, and I'm going to talk a little bit off the record here for a minute. I don't know if it's off the record, but it's just a different discussion. I want to thank everybody out there in Wonder World for our buck poll. This will be our third year. A good friend of mine, or used to like me anyway, thought the buck poll would be good in Big Rapids. So me and the boys put one up. Doug Rant and Consumers Power helped, and Cash and Carry came over with whatever you call it there, the fork thing. Can't think.
Skytrack.
Skytrack, thank you, got up there. But anyway, we have a nice buck poll. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but, well, maybe one person was offended by it, and that's too bad because traditionally, deer hunting, for a lot of years, we always took the first day of school off of deer hunting. November 15 was like a city holiday here in Mecosta County. But anyway, we still do have a lot of deer hunters, so therefore we have a buck poll in Big Rapids. Well, I don't remember having one for a long time. Mark, do you?
No.
I don't.
Yours is the first in a long time.
So anyway, I got with Kyle and Casey with Bearton Firearm and Training over there, and they were a big part of it the last couple of years, and they're a big part of it this year too. And Woodland Taxidermy up in Paris, Jeff Tyson there. I called him up the other day. Jeff, you want to be in it? Oh, God, Patty, so I love it. He, for the first prize, biggest buck, will be a shoulder mount. And that's very expensive.
Very, very nice, very generous.
Yeah, so that's very
Awesome.
generous. Yeah. So I want to thank Jeff Tyson Woodland. And I said, well, you want to come on the radio? We'll talk a little bit about it. He goes, you know, Pat, we are so busy right now. It's unbelievable. I can't take the time. Well, okay, Jeff, but I'm going to give you a plug today. Thanks a lot. You're a great American. So anyway, I just want to tell you who are the sponsors on the guns. We have like 5 or 6 guns we're going to be giving away. The best deer is going to get the shoulder mount. And then on down the line, like Sue Bean from Big Rapids Realty, she has donated to Top Gun. And these other guys have donated guns. I just want to say DJ Asphalt, my brother-in-law Jeff Mayo, K&M, that's Kim Wells and Kevin Wells, down to KMK Machining down there in Rogers Heights, Wenger Insurance, Seth Wenger from Baldwin, Big Rapids, Car Center, that's Billy Edwards and Company, M&M Collision right down the street, the best collision shop in the city of Big Rapids, for sure. for sure. One of the top-notch people. Schuberg Insurance, Tyler's joined in by supporting us with a gun too. Century 21, Waterford Realty, that's Heather Miller and company out there, sponsor of a gun. Big Rapids Pennzoil, where we all go for our oil changes and minor repairs, and tires too. Zach Wells has donated a gun. And Chuck and Murdy's, Donnie says, what do you got to have? I told him, $3,000 would be nice, whatever it is. I mean, that's what kind of guy Donnie Kaiser, just like his old man was.
Yes.
The Kaisers are great people, but I was only kidding him. But anyway, he sponsored a big gun too. So I just want to thank those guys. And we have other members in the community that are sponsoring us, but they're giving us.
That's quite a selection. Very generous.
Yeah, great people. So nobody's turned it down. All right.
How are the raffle tickets coming along, by the way?
Oh, good Lord. Yes, two things. Thank you, Brad, for bringing that up. Voting today. Reed City's got a big millage coming up. I don't think they're asking for too much, 70-some million. Oh, God, help us all. But anyway, nope, that's what they're going for, and we wish them people to vote their conscience in their wallets. And then Chippewa Hills is asking for some money, too, over there. Thank God Big Rapids isn't. I'm piped out. But Big Rapids is out of it, but Chippewa Hills is going for millage in Reed City. So get out, vote for or against whatever it's your duty as an American citizen. Giving Day, I was just told, is December 2nd. Giving Day? December 2nd. Yeah, Giving Day. All right. So then what else is coming up? Big Rapids playing Escanaba. We already talked about that.
Ferris is at Saginaw this coming Saturday.
23 straight victories for Tony Anise and company up. And then Reed City's playing this weekend, too, for a second round.
Yes.
The other ones are all out, I think. But what else was important? We were going to say something else.
I was wondering why Big Rapids is playing in Escanaba. They were ahead of them in points going into the game with Ludington. They won, and somehow Escanaba gets home field advantage. I don't understand why.
Wow, if anybody knows, we'd like to know that. Yeah.
That's a coach question, but I assume it has to do with Escanaba coming down this past weekend, playing Fremont here at Fremont, perhaps?
Freeland.
Yeah, Freeland, excuse me. Yeah,
That's all right. You correct me, I'll correct you. Yeah.
So that could have something to do with it. I can't verify that for sure, but that was a long travel for Escanaba to come down here and beat them.
All right. Well, that's a good question, Mark. If anybody would like to answer that question, you're more than welcome at 231-592-04.
1039.
What? Oh,
That's the frequency of the station, 1039.
Why the hell didn't you tell me that at the beginning?
I did.
When I started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 592-1039. That's
That's
a
it.
good number to have. That's easy to remember, folks.
Right,
So
yeah.
anybody can answer that. Give us a call. You'll get a prize, cup of coffee. All right. Well, I brought Mark on here because him and I go way back. He's a graduate of 71. He's seen Big Rapids come and go, and different businesses come and go, and what makes it tick, what doesn't. And I've always been intrigued by your understanding of the political arena that we're in. As of late, it's been kind of nasty. I want you to touch on it, Mark, the history of our community and our state and our country and why we came to where we are. And I want you, and there's a lot of questions here to you to answer, but one of them is the two-party system. Do you think that's right? Do you think we should only have one party? Do you think we should have three parties? That's one question. The other thing is I want you to touch on today, and we got a little time here, and I'll keep my mouth shut I won't say anything until you're done, but immigration. I want your thoughts on immigration. And the reason I say this is because I have my thoughts, and I think most people have heard my thoughts. I'm concerned on immigration. I want your thoughts on that. And then whatever else you want to talk about, Mark. I mean, go for it.
Well, I look at the history of the area, and my family goes back to the 1860s around here. We were talking about blocks and roofing being 100 years old, and my father would be 2 if he were alive. Early on, my grandmother, they lived on 21 Mile Road, which would be the homestead was right in the middle of the northbound lane of the expressway now. Wow. And The farm, the barn foundation still exists. To the right, there was a cell tower in it, I think, not too long ago. But when my grandfather was just starting the business, my grandmother was pregnant with my dad, and a car pulled up, which was unusual because it was horse and buggy days for the most part, even in 25. And my grandmother went out to see who it was, and Henry Ford got out of the car, and there were two other gentlemen sitting with him, and he came up to ask directions to get someplace, and he put his foot up on the porch. And my Uncle Ed, that was 2 years older than my dad, came out with no clothes on and peed on Henry Ford's boot.
Wow.
And the two gentlemen in the car got out laughing, and it was Thomas Edison and Harvey Firestone. And they sat and talked with my grandmother for a few minutes. And anyway, so that's the pride of the family story, you know.
Wow, that's awesome.
And on my mother's side of the family, my great-great-uncle Jep Bisbee was a fiddler at all the barn dances. And Henry Ford and Harvey Firestone and Thomas Edison used to come to all the barn dances.
Really?
And they ended up having a fiddler's contest, Henry Ford's fiddler contest. And Jep Bisbee won. And Thomas Edison ended up taking him to Edison, New Jersey, and doing recordings that are, some of which are in the Smithsonian. And he was given a Model A or a T, I can't remember which, by Henry Ford that never was driven because he didn't think that cars would ever replace the horse and buggy. Which brings us to today's conversation concerning Goshen and jobs in the community. And we talked about this early on when Goshen had announced that they were going to build the factory, and we had a civil discussion at Zotz. And I still am on the other side of the fence. I see yesterday they had a celebration of No Goshen. I think it might be premature in that the lawsuit is still going on. And if Goshen prevails, which I think they will, that will put the residents of Green Township on the hook to pay the damages, which now is in the tens of millions, if with the clawback attempt by the MEDC. So there's another shoe to drop in this situation, and I think people are premature to be celebrating the demise of Goshen. I would like to point out that Mecosta County is among the poorest counties in the state of Michigan, as is Isabella, Lake. This area is really an economic desert compared to other parts of the state. And as it relates to Goshen, we've had a hemorrhaging of jobs and factories going to China for decades now. And not only do they take our jobs, they take our technology. And we're better off having Goshen here than having Goshen go somewhere else. And that ties in with the immigration thing. Real immigration that's legitimate, I'm all for. The Western world has a diminished population growth, negative in many cases. Europe is going through that. The United States, without immigration, would be in the same boat. And that depresses, creates job shortages, people unable to hire. You've got all kinds of situations that are complicated by a negative growth in population. And so for the very purpose of promoting longevity of the United States of America, we need immigration, which we've had since day one. We're all the descendants of immigrants here, except for Native Americans who got robbed.
Right.
So to answer some of your questions, I think that it's an important aspect of this country being able to be stable.
Okay.
What you're saying, Mark, is you believe in legal immigration.
Of course.
Not open border policy like the rest of us do. Unfortunately, we let the border to be open where millions of migrants have come across. And I think that's important to keep that border secured, but also at the same time, we need to have growth, as you said, in this country through immigration because of our birth rate being lower.
I agree with you, Brad, on that, and I'm sure Mark does too. I can't speak for you, though. But back in the day when everybody came from all the way from Italy, from Belgium, or wherever, England, but you had to go through New York. There was two places, New York and Detroit, I think, wasn't it? I don't know, immigration places. But anyway, let's say it was New York. You had to come over, and you had to abide by the law. And then you had to learn English, right? Back in the day.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I thought you did. I thought.
Not early on. It was
Okay.
a whole different situation.
I thought.
back then.
Did you think that or not? What was your thoughts on that, Brad?
I heard Mark's right on that, but
Okay, well, he's probably
but the
right.
thing is, back then you also had to have a sponsor, didn't you? You had to have a family that was gonna sponsor you
No.
at that time period, or no?
No.
Okay. So what did these people do once they arrived here?
They were processed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Ellis Island was
Yes.
the major
Correct.
point of entry for most immigrants, and they took names and.
Well, what is your thought the way it went in the last 8 years on immigration? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that enforcing immigration laws is an important thing. On the other hand, ICE and Gestapo-like actions are completely wrong. It's anti-American, and it's everything that we don't need.
But they're criminals, Mark.
They are not.
Oh, they're not.
The largest percentage of people that are being detained and deported are not criminals.
No.
The statistics show that it's a very small percentage. That's what Trump pledged to do at the beginning, and that's not what he's done.
Why is that, you think? I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Why would you all of a sudden say that innocent people are being picked up?
Because the numbers bear that out.
But who gave you the numbers?
The Immigration Department.
They did.
Yes.
So there's people out there, innocent people getting picked up.
Innocent, less the fact that they probably came here illegally. So that's the basis of Trump keeping his promise, is that he says, well, they came here illegally, therefore they're a criminal.
But how about I know, what's really sad is back in the old Wyatt Earp days, I've been watching a lot of that, and I read the books on Wyatt Earp and this and that. A lot of good people, innocent people, were hung for crimes they didn't commit. It was a mistake on the human race. I mean, we all make mistakes. But do you agree that there should have been something done as far as the illegals coming in that are raping our children and breaking into the stores and rioting, looting?
If you look at the percentage of illegal immigrants who have committed crimes, it's far less than real, legitimate American citizens. So the myth that all these people are criminals is just that, a myth.
How about the gangs? Like he's in there trying to clean up the MA-13 or whatever it's called. What is that group?
Yeah.
The 13. MS-13, is it? Thank you, Jen. Jen's in the background here. She's listening. God bless her little soul. She should be in here, huh, Bobby? But anyway, what?
Let her come in. Let her, she has to weigh in on this.
What'd he say? Anyway, you gotta go to the bathroom. Anyway, so what's your thoughts on that, Mark? How would you take care of stuff like that?
Well, obviously, when you've got a crime syndicate, you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with that. It's the methods that are used, accusing people who aren't part of gangs, that I find not acceptable.
Who in your thoughts is the best president we've ever had that you thought that maybe should have stayed in there and really could have made
Well, it was before my time, but I think FDR was the best president. He led us through World War II. He ended the Depression.
Yeah.
He did a lot of great things.
But
Social Security, things like that.
Yeah. So since then, though, like from Truman on up through to Trump, who would you say would be one that you were pretty inspired by on his motives of running the country the way he did it?
Well, believe it or not, I think Nixon was a really good president, save the fact that Watergate was a major issue. On the other hand, by comparison to what Trump's done, it was chump change. So I thought that Kennedy did a pretty good job. I shared a birthday with him, so I liked him as a little
Kennedy?
kid. Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of the charm of all of us, wasn't he, back then?
He was.
Everybody really looked up to him, and it looked like he was going to be a great leader for many, many years. That being, he was assassinated along with Lincoln and others. But Charlie Kirk, what was your thoughts on Charlie Kirk?
I didn't really know much about Charlie Kirk before he was shot. Mm-hmm. What I've learned about him since, I'm not really impressed. I think he was racist. I believe that he espoused principles that are outside of my belief cycle. And so I'm...
What made you think he's racist?
I've looked at the quotes.
What quote? Can you remember any quote? I know I don't mean to put you on the spot, but help me out understand, because I can't understand when people say that to me. I'm thinking, well, I've never seen anything where he really... he's a little bit tough on people as far as getting a job out there. I don't care what color you are, but, show us your worth being here, and we're going to be okay with you. And what's your thoughts on that, Brad? I'll let you jump in a little bit.
In regards to Charlie Kirk,
being a racist.
No, I don't believe that Charlie was a racist at all. I believe that Charlie was wanting to empower the younger people, educate them, and say, you know what? You are better. This is what we stand for as a country. This is our beliefs. Don't let the other side tell you this is how you should live or this is how you should feel. We need empowerment from positive people. And what we have to remember here in this conversation is Veterans Day is coming up, and those who are currently serving our country, those who have died for our country in the past, veterans that have served our country, to have this conversation amongst ourselves. Mark and I have had conversations before. We've always had a good time after we left. We're still friends. We're all friends here. We all should be friends.
Right.
But yeah, what a blessing it is to live in this country, in democracy, the republic that we live in, of course, and to be able to have these conversations open, live, where other countries wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
So in regards to Charlie Kirk, he's more towards the younger generation. I knew who he was a little bit, not fully. Did I follow him? No. Did he do a lot of goodness throughout this country with the younger people and the younger generation and the supporters of the Republican Party, the younger people? He had a major role in President Trump's win. An important day for all of us. But yeah, he'll be missed. But Turning Point will move forward, and they're growing substantially, and they'll be stronger yet.
Mark, let me ask you this, because I do appreciate your opinion, and that's why I brought you in today. What has Trump done to be called a king? Why are they protesting no king? And I just want you to explain.
Because he's abusing power. He's assumed, unfortunately, the Supreme Court basically gave him carte blanche to commit crimes without any fear of prosecution, which I think was a horrible mistake by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And he's used fascist approaches to enforcing the law. He's open.
What is he done?
Openly saying, I'm going after my opponents, people who challenge me.
Has he done that?
Yes, he has. He's arrested Jim Comey. He's arrested Letitia James from New York. He's arrested, who else?
Why would he arrest them, though? What was the reasoning?
Well, you'll see that they're going to be acquitted of the crimes that he said.
Why would he arrest them in the first place?
Because he said he was going to, because they had challenged him.
Challenged him on
anything, whether.
Do you feel, Mark? Can I ask a question, Mark?
No, I'm only kidding. This is going to go on.
No. This enjoy this conversation, Mark.
Good. No.
Do you feel as if the Biden administration was stopping Trump as well as the Obama administration at the time, stopping Trump from winning and becoming president of the United States during his.
Are you asking me whether the?
Well, I mean, we're saying that the Trump administration was using the justice as empowerment to persecute their opposition, but it seems like the Biden administration, Obama administration have done the same thing in the past as well.
They did not. They never had any conversations with the Justice Department, and it's been proven. They caught him on a hot mic that Trump instructed the Department of Justice to arrest the people that are being arrested. There should be a complete separation between the Justice Department and the President of the United States, lest something like Trump is doing right now was to happen, and it's happening. And so it's, I think, the biggest power grab in the history of this country, and it's wrong, and he should be stopped.
Okay, so, like, I applauded him because, like, when he's come in with the National Guard, you don't agree with going into the cities,
Turning the military against American citizens?
Well, I wouldn't say they're good citizens. They haven't turned against you and I. I'm just curious what your thoughts are, and I don't want you getting all upset, but I looked at, like, Chicago, for instance. I had a friend of mine got lost down there, and he was in the neighborhood, and these people said to him, "You got 5 minutes to get out of here." That's in America? And if you don't, you're not going to see tomorrow. And he was scared, you know what? And he said, I got the hell out of there. I was lucky to get a chance. I could have been killed. In America? So, yet we don't want Trump going in there with military, but yet if this keeps going on, it's just going to flood out into the suburb, which it already has. In a lot of areas, the suburbs are being broken into and ransacked, and just civil unrest is what I call it. But
that's completely exaggerated.
Okay.
There are neighborhoods that are absolutely free of crime, and not only that, even the neighborhoods that he is justifying as high crime, there's been a diminished crime rate in New York, in Chicago. It's gone down considerably. So his approach that everything is going to hell in a handbasket is not correct.
Well, let me give you this scenario. There's blacks right now coming out of Chicago, coming out of Grand Rapids, Detroit. Most of them are out of Chicago, coming in our neighborhood over on 2nd Avenue. They're Big Rapids. Very nice people. Very nice people. I've gotten to know, they're friends of mine. And we have nice talks. And I'll say to them, why did you move to Big Rapids? I mean, what's up here that you didn't have back in your native land down
to escape the discussion that we're currently having, I'm
right.
sure.
And get my kids out of there and come to a safe haven, which is literally white Big Rapids, which some people at Ferris say we're racist, which I, for the end of life of me, I don't know, very few people are racist in Big Rapids. And so anyway, these people come up here, I treat them right, they treat me right. I've never had a robbery on the east side of Big Rapids in my gas station. You know why? Because they're friends of mine, and they know I respect them. And I do help them out once in a while with a free something once in a while. I'll give them a token at Thanksgiving or whatever. But they all say the same thing. Mr. Pat, we love you. We love Big Rapids. And that's a compliment to our little old Andy Griffith town. Everybody tells me I'm little Andy Griffith, but they want to get out of the war zone. They said the last night they were there were shootings going across the street. Hell, they didn't know where the bullets were going. And if you really knew the count of people being murdered down there, the news doesn't even come close of telling us how many people are getting killed every night. But I mean, if that's what we want, then fine. But like, I just don't see him going into the cities with the National Guard, going to Mark Bloxham and Pat Curry saying you're coming to jail. They have no reason to, right? I mean, he has no reason to come here. We take care of our own. We have a very good police force here.
If you notice, the places that he's going after are all Democratic states.
Well, then that should tell you something there. Where's the most unrest? The criminals are at.
What the issue is that the highest crime rates in the country are all in red states, in Mississippi, in Alabama, and Louisiana. And so he's suggesting that he's going after all these high crime cities, and he's not going after the high crime cities that are in red states.
Well, yeah, but like Michigan's a red state, right? Now it turned red, right?
Right. That's what you call purple state.
But you go down to Detroit and it's blue, right?
Yeah.
Well, go to Chicago, Illinois. You look at Chicago, that's blue, right?
Correct.
Well, that's crime. Right?
It is, but
outside of Illinois, there's a lot of fine. Kankakee down south there, all the way to Missouri. It's pretty nice. I mean, there is less crime.
Kankakee has a really high crime rate.
But your bigger cities, is it not true? In your biggest city is your biggest crime.
You look at history, and when you concentrate a lot of people in one place, you're going to have higher crime rates.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what color they are. You've concentrated when it was the Irish in New York City and the Italians in New York City. They had high crime rates back then, and it had nothing to do with race. It was,
but I'm not trying to pick on Democrats, but if you look at Baltimore, Washington, D.C., all, your bigger states.
Most bigger cities are Democratic.
Why? Why is that, Mark?
Why is that? Yeah. It's mainly because there's a higher concentration of minorities who've been probably not always treated right in their history. And it was Kennedy who basically united the black community behind the Democratic Party. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a major impetus for that, and it continued to be the case that blacks traditionally had voted Democratic because Democrats did more to protect them from racist America, segregation, the sorts of things that happened in this country right up until the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
So the Ku Klux Klan was Republican?
Well, what you had is the Dixiecrats, who were Democratic, became Republicans after the Civil Rights Act took place. They abandoned, in large numbers, the Democratic Party, and the Dixiecrats were a segment of the Democratic Party, but one that was consistently voting against what Democrats put forward. And of course, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 solidified that movement, and many of them became Republicans. And so that's what's happened.
I believe, can I say something real quick, Mark? I believe that we should not judge based upon color, ethnic, whether you're prosperous, whether you're dirt poor. But I think it's our responsibility to lift everyone up, upward mobility, and to make that person, rather than live and give free this or free that, if they absolutely need it, God bless them and let's do it, let's help them out. But we need good technical programs to teach these young people a true skill, an upward mobility, and bring jobs back to this country, bring industrial power back to this country like we were back when you two were younger and America was stronger. We have lost a lot of jobs due to NAFTA overseas, and that's not the faults of the Democrats nor Republicans. I think both sides of the politicians were a little greedier, and they have followed the money over there. But at the same time, we have built up China to the point where now they're an adversary of ours. And with this fentanyl issue and everything else that's going on, yes, they may not be sending that fentanyl directly to us. They are somewhat, though. But they're sending it to other countries and shipping it through there, saying, hands off, we have nothing to do with this. And they're doing this to destroy us within. And that's where we are with our politics. We're destroying one another, because if you're a Democrat, you're Republican, we're just grinding on one another, and we just need to be respectful to one another and learn from one another, because government wants to keep us divided. They don't want us, the people, to have the power. And it's so important for us to have these conversations like we're having today and work these conversations out, and then somehow figure out a way how we can work together and come together so that we have the power over the politicians.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this, Mark. who freed the slaves, Republican or Democrat?
A Republican, Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
who would be a Democrat were he alive today. And I make the observation that Republicans always say, look at who freed the slaves.
Right.
They did a great job. I voted for Richard Nixon in my first election.
Sure.
I grew up in essentially a Republican family. And I saw what Republicans were all about, and that's when I became active in the Democratic Party.
All right. Being that said, who inspired you what Republicans were? Was it a professor? Because you did go to college. Did they talk a lot about politics when you went to college? And,
Well, when I was in college...
Let me finish here just for a second. If you growed up, use my English, in a Republican community, which, well, no, I shouldn't say we were all Republican here. My dad was a Democrat, but it was a different kind. But anyway, a Republican family that you say you grew up in, where in your life did you change and you saw that maybe we're a little evil? I hate to use that word because you're not, but where did you see the change in your life? How old were you? And
I was college age.
Okay. So it was in college that you were inspired by a professor, maybe?
No, I was inspired by actual events.
Okay. What events would have been, Mark? This one, I'm just asking.
Well, Watergate was one that stands out.
Okay.
And it wasn't so much Watergate itself as much as it was the actions that Nixon took afterwards, which is the same types of actions that Trump is taking right now. Getting even with people, trying to stamp out his enemies. And so I saw, and then I think Newt Gingrich in the late 90s definitely solidified my position because he was an obstructionist for everything that was going down. And he's the one that started the trend that we're now facing with the shutdown of government.
Okay.
And the withholding of food for people who need to survive as a leverage point when there are funds set aside specifically for situations like this to fund welfare and food. So I think it's cruel and unusual punishment that the Republicans would try and withhold food as a bargaining chip to gain position with Democrats.
So as the course of history goes along, everybody has a closet that we don't want to open up. The Clintons had many, many dark moments in their president's 8 years that he was in there, what he had done, and there was a lot of suicides. They called them suicides, people that worked for them. And then the Benghazi thing, where she was on that board.
That's a complete
that's
absolute.
false.
The
Okay.
Republicans voted down additional security for embassies around the world just months before Benghazi took place. It was an attack in the middle of the desert.
But they were told that they needed more troops, and she denied them. Is that true?
No.
Oh, that's false.
The Republicans denied the funding to increase security at the embassies.
Okay,
And so,
I didn't know.
and then they try and point to that. That's chump change.
Okay.
That's chump change.
Okay. So you don't think they had anybody put down through their regime when they were in control? Do you ever hear of any of that stuff at all, or not?
What you're talking about?
The Clintons, I'm not.
You're talking about the Vince Foster suicide?
Yeah, all that.
Well,
more than just him, but
well, I mean, that was an accusation.
yeah.
But
But
by
you don't think-
Republicans, I never saw any evidence that would show that.
All right. What evidence have you seen that Trump has done and criminal acts that he's done? What
I'm seeing
evidence?
it every day.
What?
He's using the Justice Department illegally to persecute and prosecute his enemies. And
Well, who are his enemies again then?
Well,
Just real quickly.
the former FBI director, James Comey.
So you think
Letitia
he was
James.
honest and everything, up and up? Comey's
Yeah.
a good man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do you think it's wrong for
He had to
Trump?
get a person who was never a prosecutor. Nobody in his office, his own appointees, would sign the warrant to arrest James Comey. They all resigned or quit because they knew he had no evidence. And he fished for somebody to sign the papers.
Do you think we're more safe or unsafe right now as a country?
I think the democracy is right at the brink of total collapse based on what's going on.
But the way it was going, do you think it was better the way it was
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything worse that's ever happened to this country than Donald Trump.
Okay, that's, but like what was going on down there in Mexico, coming over here with those people with Snickers on. I mean, they had nice clothes on. They all had a phone. You think those people were legitimate people, or do you think they were paid to come into the United States to destroy our democracy?
Yes, and it's who paid them. That's the question.
Who do you think it was?
Well, let's put it this way. A whole bunch of Haitians came to Mexico and then came to the border. How did they get from Haiti to Mexico?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, who do you...
I believe that somebody paid them.
Right.
And it wasn't Democrats, because they were the ones that were fighting off all the accusations of open borders, etc.
They were fighting it off?
They were being accused of open borders. It wouldn't be in their best interest to bring people over to cross the border illegally when you're fighting a battle, a media battle. It wouldn't make any sense.
What's a perfect world to you then? What would you say if you were all of a sudden said, I'm the president of the United States, what would you do to make it better for us?
I'd follow the Constitution.
And you don't think Trump's following?
No, not anywhere close. And there's plenty of proof of that every day.
Yeah. Well, what would you do? You'd follow the Constitution, so you would say bear arms.
Right.
You wouldn't take guns away.
I believe that the courts misinterpreted what the Second Amendment is all about. And I don't believe, I mean, I've been a hunter. My family is a hunting family. But I don't think people need automatic weapons. I don't think they need atom bombs. And there's a reason that there's a reasonableness that should be interpreted there. If you have arms to protect your house, your family, I have no problem with that. But automatic weapons that kill school children, guns are one of the leading causes of death in this country. And it's, for children, it is the number one.
Well, I would have to say it's not really the guns, it's the people. And that's a whole different show on mental illness. I mean, you can't, Mark Bloxham wouldn't go out here right now, as upset as you may get, and grab a gun and just say, I'm going to blow all you Republicans away.
But
mental illness.
Mental illness, and guess who cut all the funding for mental illness?
Democrats?
No, they did not.
They didn't?
No, they didn't.
They didn't put it back into society and close.
Who did away with all mental facilities basically in the state of Michigan was John Engler, as an example.
Yeah. Interesting. It's been very fun today.
What's your take, Mark, on George Soros, if you don't mind me asking? You seem well informed about everything so far.
George Soros is the biggest. He's 95 years old. They have no proof that he gives money openly to liberal causes. There's no other proof.
His name seems to be mentioned quite often.
Oh, he does. He's the favorite target of Republicans. It's like he's financing.
He hasn't denied the allegations himself, it seems as if.
Well, I don't think he addresses them at all. He's basically...
Why do you think the Democrats won't pass the budget? What's your thoughts on that?
Because it's going to cost a whole bunch of people a whole lot of money on their health care. And they're trying to continue the subsidies for Obamacare that was started with the COVID epidemic, and they're trying to shove it down the Democrats' throat.
The Republicans' throat, you mean?
No, the Republicans aren't passing a budget.
The Republicans want to pass.
Well, they want to pass it without any health care provisions. It's going to double. It's going to shut down. You know, Mount Pleasant's hospital is on the verge of closing down.
No.
There's probably 30 hospitals in the state of Michigan alone that will close down if these subsidies go away. Rural hospitals in particular. And something needs to be done. We need, Trump in 2015 promised that he would bring forward a replacement for Obamacare. 10 years later, we haven't heard a thing. And we still don't consider to hear a thing.
Yeah.
And their approach is to give up their quest to have the subsidies continue, and we'll negotiate it later after you let that go. Well, Trump's never followed through on any of his promises, so I don't expect it's going to happen now.
There's something I wanted to read to you.
I do think that as a candidate, President Trump did follow through all of his promises he made on the campaign trail, where a lot of these current politicians, even today's politicians, one that's running for mayor of New York City, is making a lot of promises I don't think he can be able to keep.
Well, I disagree with you. I don't think that Trump has kept his promises, although he has kept some promises that are completely illegitimate and illegal.
But in regards to those who crossed the border once again, we have had plenty of bad characters that have crossed with the innocent ones, and it's a shame that those who are innocent came over here to follow the American dream like all of our ancestors had that opportunity as well. But at the same time, for us to keep those borders open for so long, allowing that influx into our country,
I consider it's a total ruse.
Put to us.
They have a lower crime rate than regular Americans.
No, I'm not talking about crime rate. I'm saying there's plenty of them that are innocent is what I'm saying. They came here crossing the border, following their dream, the dream that our ancestors had before us. But there's plenty of them who have crossed the border also. They're murderers, drug traffickers, those who are paid by other countries or other entities to destroy our republic within our country, to cause chaos here. And not to be able to vet them the way that we're supposed to legally, that's a travesty, I believe, that's on the burden of the Democratic Party.
Well, I don't believe that.
How about what's really in the news right now, and a lot of it's being covered up, is these cities being taken over by foreign interests, flying their nation's flag on American soil. Like Minneapolis right now, it's not good up there. I have a good friend of mine lives up there, and they say it's not good. How about Dearborn?
Dearborn has one of the lower crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Well, nobody goes there except unless you're Hamas.
There's nothing.
You don't think there's anything wrong with them changing their emblems to Islamic?
This is America. I mean, if they want to fly.
Well, it is America, but we don't go to Africa and say, okay, we're America.
Is it illegal for them to fly a flag? I don't, I don't know.
They can't stop traffic. We just can't all of a sudden go up and stop traffic to show them that our beliefs is this. These people, these foreigners are getting away with all this and throwing their flags out there. What the hell? If they want Mexico, go back to Mexico. Or if they want to go back to Afghanistan, wherever they're from, I mean, but why are they trying to infiltrate United States?
Infiltrate? I don't think that's the right term.
Well, they say it right on, you see it on their web pages that they...
When you have ICE coming into your neighborhoods, roughing up people, beating people that are handcuffed, they're doing a lot of horrible things.
Why do you think they're doing that, though?
Because they've been given the green light to do anything they want by Trump.
Well, I know, but don't you think it's making it safer? I mean, they're not doing...
No, I don't. It's making it worse.
Okay.
They're inciting people. If somebody came to your house and dragged you out of the house without a warrant, with masks on so you couldn't see their face, with, in many cases, no identification, you don't know whether it's a criminal coming after you or whether it's a legitimate police officer. They're not following the law.
Okay. Well, that's your view, and I appreciate that.
Well, they're warrantless searches. They're going into houses.
Well, so you don't think we should be doing any of that?
No.
Going after...
We should fund the police departments to enforce the laws in the cities that they're in. We don't need military. Nobody has ever done this before. Military.
No, I know. Nobody's ever needed to really do it until now.
There is no need now. The crime rates have gone down significantly. Like 24 and 25% decreases in crime in these cities, and he's still going to the cities to enforce with his Gestapo, ICE.
All right, who told you those? numbers? What?
They're everywhere.
Are they on Fox?
Yeah, they're on Fox.
They are?
Yeah.
The crime rate decreased after he came in, you mean?
No, before.
Oh, before? Well, but then again, going from there, if you think about it, though, these people have just been coming in the last few years, though, right?
No.
No?
No, there's been...
drugs forever.
It's not just drugs. We've got...
What has drugs done to our society, Mark?
Well,
what do you think it has done?
I think that, let's take marijuana as an example. Marijuana was vilified as this horrible, horrible drug, a class 1 narcotic, and it still is federally. Marijuana is not a threat to our society.
It's not?
No. It's like this. I've smoked marijuana for 55 years, and I've consumed alcohol for about the same amount of time. And the biggest trouble I ever got into in my life was under the influence of alcohol, not marijuana. And so if you're looking at the net effects, there's no question about it. Alcohol is much worse. And as it relates to other drugs, other than overdoses, nobody's going to get in a fist fight in the bar if they're doing heroin. It's the overdose aspects of it that are an issue. Now, fentanyl, that's a whole nother matter. But
do you agree with Trump blowing those fentanyl?
I don't agree.
Well,
we don't even know who they are. It's without due process. Would you like to be in one of those boats and get blown out of the water?
I wouldn't be in one of those boats.
I wouldn't either. But the fact of the matter is, they have no proof that maybe they are drug runners. But this country is built on due process, and summarily killing somebody without any proof is not the way this country is supposed to run.
But do you agree they know a lot more what's really going out in those seas than we do?
No, I don't agree.
You don't agree?
I don't agree.
You don't think that those people know those guys are drug runners? That
no,
they have surveillance?
They've even admitted that they don't. The last one that they did, which was yesterday or the day before, they said that they had proof, but they haven't provided that proof.
But what were they doing out there 500 miles off the shore?
And how do they get from 500 miles offshore, which I don't know that that's true.
I'm just using that for example.
And get another 1,800 or 2,000 miles? They don't have enough fuel on it to make.
Well, that's a question for the foreigners that are doing it.
No, it's a question for the people who are blowing them out of the water as to why aren't they allowed due process? Why don't they arrest them and give them a trial and do it the way Americans do it? We're doing what third world countries do.
Well,
they're out to kill us currently. They're out to destroy this country. I guarantee you that our United States military has enough intel to know that those boats are drug traffickers.
But
yes.
Mark, the thing, my question is, and maybe you can't answer this, is what else would they be doing out there? They're not fishing those size of boats.
They may very well be, but our country is founded on due process.
Well,
and that means that you get charged with a crime and you have a trial. To do it any other way is to be fascist. And that's exactly what we're doing right now.
You know what? I would agree with you, but I got to disagree because as lenient as our judges have been, the victim's always the one that's in trouble.
We have more people in prison than any other country in the world.
Top of the hour, 10 o'clock, 1039. Thank you, Bob. Can we go on for a little bit more? Boss lady say it's okay? All right, thank you, Jen. No, this is good. But do you agree, Mark, or disagree with our judicial system? Do you think it's more lenient towards the criminal than it is the victim? You don't.
Compare it to the
how
rest of
come
the
we
world.
have people coming over here from foreign countries, raping somebody and back out on the street within 24 hours, killing somebody and back on the street within 7 days?
Show me the statistics on that.
Well, you see their records when they do finally get convicted. They'll say this guy's got 3 prior convictions of
I'm not
breaking.
seeing that. I'm not.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. Have you, Brad? prior convictions on a lot of criminals from overseas.
That's what they have stated.
Yeah.
I have not seen the actual evidence, but they have stated that, and
You
people
haven't
like
seen
us
that,
wouldn't know
we
that
haven't-
information.
We really haven't
us
seen
little
any.
guys.
We haven't seen any evidence from anything that's going on right now that Trump's doing wrong. That ISIS is doing. You haven't been in those neighborhoods. I haven't been in those neighborhoods.
It's the lack of judicial due process. That's he's breaking the law by doing what he's doing.
He probably is, but he's saving lives doing it.
Oh,
What do you
bullshit.
think? No? Okay. That's okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. No, that's okay, Mark. I didn't mean to upset you. I really didn't. I'm just trying to understand why people feel and think the way they do. And you're a good example for this for me today. I really appreciate you on. And I know I talk too much, but you certainly haven't, because you know that everybody has a difference of opinion. And I appreciate you accepting my thoughts on what I think. This is my thought. I think as a country, we still are in trouble. I think what we're doing in Big Rapids with what's going on at the campus right now with the Jim Crow thing, I don't agree with that. And people that do agree with it, I'd like to know why. Because one lady said to me, Pat, if you don't bring up the past, you won't, if you don't bring up the past, you'll repeat yourself. I think that's malarkey. I don't agree with that. I don't think we'll ever have slavery again. Any nation coming over here will be slaves to us. I think that we've equaled the opportunity for every American. I think Donald Trump's got different races in all his departments. I don't think he's a racist at all. I think that...
I don't think we'll see another Hitler again. Yeah,
I don't
I think
either.
we bring that up way too much ourselves.
But I agree to disagree with you on these, Mark, and I think it's okay that you believe that. But we're in the studio today with free speech, which is pretty unusual in other countries right now. And we don't have an internal war going on. We don't have a civil war going on right now. I think people were fed up with over being taxed. I just got something yesterday in the mail. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, are you kidding me? And it wasn't about the money. It was just like, they make you out to be like a criminal. It's like, I didn't even know that was a law.
And I would ask the question then, why is it that the wealthiest Americans are paying the least amount of tax?
I don't agree with that. I think that, well, first of all...
But I don't think the wealthiest Americans are all Republicans either. There's plenty of Democrats who are
Not
ultra
plenty.
wealthy. Majority.
You think the majority of wealthy people are billionaires?
You don't think Democrats have a lot of money?
By comparison, if you want to take all of the wealthiest billionaires, I would estimate that Democrats probably make up about 10%, and 90% are Republicans.
Okay. Well, there again, that's your opinion. And
Recently, they've become Republicans since Trump's been in office. Like Bezos, he was a Democrat prior to the Trump administration being reelected, wasn't he?
Not that I know of. I don't know.
Well,
how do you think, Mark, I mean, you've been very informative, and I've always enjoyed your conversations. How do you feel us as Republicans and you as the Democratic Party, how can we come together and meet in the middle and work things out to where we agree upon the majority of the things?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, I would say that when we have a disagreement about what's going on with the lack of due process in this country, that it's a bridge too far. You can't be vilifying an entire segment of the population and prosecuting them because you're mad about what they're doing or saying about you. That's not what this country was founded on.
But that's why we do have the court system, of course, to work through this.
But we're not under Trump. There is no court system. Those boats, whether they're drug runners or not, are being blown up without due process.
Well, once again, I think we need to give President Trump a year's time in office to see what his accomplishments are, see what his failures are, and then judge his presidency.
He's
at
openly
that time. We got to give him some time
made
here.
$3.5 billion in the last 7 months, 6 months since he's been in office again, using his power as the president to make that money. His son-in-law got $2 billion on his way out of town after his first election.
I'm concerned about that in some ways, yes. I don't know all that information, but I am concerned that other administrations have done the same thing, starting with the Clinton Foundation, through the Obama, through the
$3.5 billion?
Bidens. I mean, we shouldn't be taking that route. If you're a public servant, I don't care if you're a local politician, state politician, we shouldn't be enriching our families nor our friends.
But I got something here. Just let me stop because we got to get rolling here a little bit. But I do have something here, Mark. I want you to read it on the radio here, and if you agree with this or not. But go ahead.
No, you read it.
All right. What is the socialism, no guns, censorship, media mind control, abortion, hate Jews, worship the government? What would you call, would that be? That's Nazi, right?
It's
Nazi, socialism, no guns, censorship, media mind control, abortion, hate Jews, worship the government.
okay. Let's start with socialism. Number one, Nazis were not socialists.
No?
No, not anywhere close.
Okay. That's what your belief is, yeah.
Well, tell me one thing that was socialist. That
You think they were socialists, Brad?
it was part
No,
of their
no,
name.
I actually do not, but I have done a lot of reading on a
Okay.
lot of this.
So you don't think they were? Well, I'm not going to argue the point. All right. Now, do you believe liberals are socialism?
I believe that they support democratic socialist positions. And if people have a problem with socialism, don't call the fire department. Don't call the police department. Don't have a military. Don't have Social Security. Don't do any number of things that are socialist programs. And
Do you think them are socialist programs?
they are socialist programs. By definition, they are sponsored by the government for the overall good of the people. That's
Well, I think that's pretty much both parties would be for any of them.
They're
you
not.
don't think Republicans want fire department?
Oh, well, of course they do, but they don't. Of course they do.
Okay.
But they
So you agree-
They failed to identify those things as socialist programs, which they are. It's socialism.
Okay, that's your thought.
It's
So
not thought. It's
socialism-
by definition that's the case.
So people, when it really comes down to it, this whole hour and a half comes down to people want the rich to share what they have because they don't think they earned it. They think that all the monies in the world should be pooled together and everybody distributed the same. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's not socialism.
No.
Okay.
That's communism.
That's communism. What's the difference between communism and socialism?
Socialism doesn't believe in the collective good of everybody sharing their money.
Okay. Well, then, what is the problem then with billionaires paying less taxes? Because actually they do pay.
When you allow wealth to concentrate all in one place,
Yeah.
take the game Monopoly. That's the perfect example. How many winners are there?
Well,
There's one.
yeah.
And when you allow unfettered collection of money, you give people the opportunity to control the entire market. And
We
so
can
when
talk
we've
forever on
got 50 people that own more than half of all the wealth in this country, a small, tiny percentage. That concentration of wealth happened largely after Reagan, who slashed the tax rates for the wealthiest Americans with the belief that it was going to trickle down. It didn't trickle down.
See, I agree with you there on there. Disagree with you on that too, but we really have to go. But I'd love to have you back on. But just a closing thing, I hope nobody hates you or I for our opinions, what we've said today. But we could talk forever. But I do want to stick up for the rich. Not that I'm rich, but I see the people in this community that do have money. They hire, they spend it. They buy boats, they buy properties, they buy guns, they buy buildings, they buy blah. They keep putting it back into our community and they put it back into our society and eventually, it goes into our economy. I mean, these people aren't just hoarding the money up. They got a room in their house and putting all their billions of dollars in it. They're going back out there exploring ways for more investments so they can make more money.
There's no evidence that that's true. I don't know about specifics in Big Rapids, but overall, what is happening is the wealthiest of Americans leave their money in the stocks and the companies that they own.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay taxes on that money until they cash in the stock. And so
they pay money on dividends, taxes on dividends every year.
Well, the stockholders get dividends. That's what I'm.
But if I own stock, real quickly, I pay money on my capital gains every year. So the
That's not capital.
Too.
It's your
dividends.
Dividends are regular income.
Well, that's what the profit off your stock.
But it's been shown that the major companies cut many of the dividends and hoarded the cash.
Well, okay, we won't go any further than that. And I apologize, Mark, for stopping you. Brad, any closing moments?
It's been enjoyable listening to Mark. I know we've had some disagreements here, but like I said, I've always respected our friendship, and we'll continue respecting our friendship. And
well, I don't know if
whether you're for Goshen or not Goshen, or that's another conversation we should have on a radio show.
I think we should meet at the Clark Station.
I would like to fill in on that topic, but
what's that?
Let's just learn to respect one another and have a good time amongst ourselves out in the community, and just enjoy one another's conversations.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, Pat.
No, it's been good. I mean, I know people try to belittle all of us, and I really wanted to talk more about Ferris, what you've seen in the growth, and if you think it's on the right path because of the trades that they've taken away over the years. I think that's affected the community. I mean, they're not on a downside. I think Pink's trying to do his best up there, recruiting good students up there. We have a great football team. We got a great volleyball team. All these generations of people coming to Big Rapids, second, third generation people. We've been very fortunate there. And I like our little town, and I think you've been a part of it. And your dad and Grandpa, I love the history today that you talked about. And we'll have you back on. I mean, everybody listens to me and says, oh, he's a Trump guy. He's a Trump guy. He never brings anybody else on. Not everybody says that, but I appreciate you coming in and defending the
well, thanks for having me, Pat.
Yeah. All right. Well, God bless America, Bob. This is one of our longer programs, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it. But remember, the sun will shine tomorrow only if the good Lord wants it to.
Amen.
Paris Auto Sales is your used car center of Big Rapids. Now with 2 locations to better serve you. We know you're a hardworking individual and you need that 3/4 ton because you never know when you'll have to haul a grand piano. And for those families that keep on growing, you're going to need that 3rd row so that your little ones can store their leftover french fries between the cushions. We've got that sport utility vehicle that's ready for the job. Paris Auto Sales, your used car center of Big Rapids. Sometimes crossing paths with a flying stone is inevitable. But whether you have a small chip that needs quick attention or a windshield that's beyond saving, Michigan ADA's Calibration and Glass is there to help. If your vehicle has been in an accident and you're working with insurance, they'll handle the entire process from start to finish. From windshields to back glass and even power windows, they'll see you through it. Pun intended. Save time and skip the dealership with Michigan ADA's Calibration and Glass. Same location as JR Customs and Collision just north of 19 Mile in Big Rapids.